All right, man. First off, what was your reaction last night when you saw the news you guys are hosting?
I'm obviously just really excited. It's one of those things down the stretch, some things didn't go our way, and that's just how baseball is sometimes. But to find out that you're hosting, you're going to play in front of your fan base, and against some good competition, it was a really awesome experience. And now the season starts all back over for us. Just like last year, we're in the same situation. Last year, we were hot towards the end. And this year, we kind of hit a little cold, but we're in the same place. And now none of it matters now. Now it's a new season for us, and we're back at square one. So that's a big deal, I think, to not only our program, but almost just within everybody, just refreshing and getting ready to play again.
What do you know about Vanderbilt and the other teams in your region?
Two guys on Vandy, Jaron Kendall and Kyle Wright, the pitcher. I played with them at Team USA. They have a great ball club. They're well coached. I'm just excited to go out there and to compete against them. And I know all my teammates are saying the same thing. We're just itching to get out there and compete, and we're going to practice and be focused throughout this whole week and just prepare ourselves as best we can.
When you're watching that beginning of that selection show and you hear them debating whether you guys should have been hosting a regional or not, you guys ended up getting a regional. When you hear that kind of talk, does that almost kind of motivate this team going, hey, let's prove that we earned, we should have earned one of those regionals?
I really think that was the biggest thing that drove us all of last year was we had a chip on our shoulder. We were just, seeded to not do too hot, finish, last in some polls, throughout the ACC, and there was a chip we had on our shoulder. And I feel like it's came back, and there was a chip on our shoulder, and we got to prove some people wrong, and we're in the business of doing that. We like to do that, and so I think, honestly, going into this week, I think we're all just almost like energized and ready to go. We want to prove people wrong, and we want to, say, that they made the right choices, so we're just going to do everything we can in our ability to make that happen.
Andrew made a good point. When the finished product is there, you guys are real good ball.
The last month has been kind of tough, but
are maybe this nearly week-long break a good thing for you? Do you feel like you guys are just an inch or two away from where you were playing back in April?
I think the team's there. The team's there. We have a couple balls, a couple calls, go our way in a couple of those games. All of a sudden, we could have won, almost, maybe one series and maybe won, a couple games here and there. But, it didn't happen that way. So I think the biggest thing for us is throughout this week, just knowing that, it's just a brand new season. This is all starting over again. We're starting at square one. Nothing else matters. Nothing in the past. And I think that's kind of almost a little bit refreshing for us. Because throughout the season, it's just a long season, and you start off hot and you go cold, and obviously mentally it kind of creeps into your head. So we're back onto the square one, and it's like starting a whole new season again.
When you get to this point, do you think the hitters have the advantage or the pitchers? Again, you haven't seen these teams, they haven't seen you. You can study film, but it's not like a year ago you saw St. John's pitchers, or maybe in North Carolina you saw them, second year ago.
I think it varies. It varies. Hitters become hot early in seasons sometimes, and sometimes late. And I think it can vary, and I really think it comes with pitching too, because some guys, for teams might not be pitching as much earlier in the year, and then are asked to pitch more later in the year, and because they figure something out. So I really think it varies. I think there's no advantage. When you're facing guys throwing mid to upper 90s in some cases, I don't think there's ever an advantage for either guy. Or when you're facing some of the best hitters in the country throughout the competition of the regional, and starting to face these really good teams, they're there for a reason, and I think that no one has an advantage.
Sorry if you've already been asked this. What were you doing last night when they announced the regionals?
I was sitting actually at a barbecue for my families and friends, and I was just, I was obviously, it was in the back of my mind, but I was focused and ready to just do whatever I needed to do to prepare myself to get ready if we were traveling or if we were staying or whatever.